Alright, so this question reads, a town has exactly 2 public parks, Graystone Park and Landing Park, which are to be planted with North American trees. There are exactly 4 varieties of trees available, maples, oaks, sycamores, and tamaracks. The planting of the trees must be in accord with the following. Alright, so we have our trees, maples, oaks, sycamores, and tamaracks. And then we have the 2 parks, Graystone and Landing. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the rules. Rule number 1, each of the parks is planted with exactly 3 of the varieties. Rule number 2, at least one of the parks is planted with both maples and sycamores. Rule number 3, any park that is planted with oaks will also be planted with tamaracks. And rule number 4, Graystone Park is planted with maples. Right, so this gives us 2 options. Okay. In the first option, we will have Graystone Park be the park with M and S in it, which means that there's no room for oak trees, because if there were oak trees, there would also have to be tamaracks, and there's only 1 spot left in Graystone, which leaves tamaracks to be the only other tree available for Graystone. And in the second option, we'll have Landing Park be the park with the maples and the sycamores, which means that oaks will not be in Landing Park. And since we already have maples and Graystone, we're either going to have oaks and tamaracks or sycamores and tamaracks. Because we can't have maple, sycamore, and oak, because if we have an oak, we also have to have a tamarack. Now, there's a key deduction here that if you don't make, it's all right, because you'll be forced to make it in question 13. But I want you to notice, in the first option, if we don't have an M and an S like we do in the second option, then we're only left with OT and then 1 of M and S. So that means if you don't have the maple sycamore option, then you're forced to have 1 of maple sycamore and then oaks and tamaracks. So Landing Park is either going to be this option right here, or it's going to be M, 1 of sycamore, oak, or tamarack, or M, sycamore, and tamarack. What do they all have in common? They all have a tamarack in common. So no matter what, tamarack is going to be in Landing Park. Now, that's a pretty complicated deduction to make, and if you don't make it here, don't worry too much. You're going to be forced to make it in question 13. But it's really helpful if you've already made it.